mission successful. We are live again. I apologize, guys. I saw that I was in the red, saw that I connected to our fiber internet, which we're still working on fixing, and connected to the cable internet we still temporarily have. So that should make things better. So, Soul, you said you wouldn't say it was necessarily an amazing Halloween, but you did survive your exam, and that is good. I am so proud of you. I know the score wasn't quite what you were hoping it would be, but you did it. You survived. There is still time for you to, keep up those good grades. So, what do you guys have planned today? Today, we are going to be playing some more Color X Malice. If you need to, please refresh. We did have a moment of having to change Wi-Fi sources, so that way I wasn't in the red. Because right now, I'm in the green. And it makes sense, because now I have higher internet speed. We're working to get the fiber internet all the way back to here, because with the way that the house is laid out, the fiber was trying to go through a desk and a wall. And even when my dad, who is like tech guru, was sitting here helping me, trying to figure out what the heck was going on, he was getting bad Wi-Fi on the fiber internet, literally right here. Hey, Galaxy on a 3-stream streak! Woohoo! Stream streak hype! So Halloween was fun. I went and did after stream, I grabbed some lunch. After lunch, I drove over to a store called Lush and replenished some supplies that I needed. I love their Odie Creamy Dreamy Shower Cream. It is perfect for my eczema. And then I have their banana shampoo, so I went ahead and bought the banana conditioner, so that way I could try that out. And then I got, they call it the King of Skin, which is a body butter. And what you do is you use the shower cream, and then after that, then you put the body butter on, and it kind of locks in that moisture. And so they also gave me a free sample of one of their skin scrubs or body scrubs. And then they also gave me a free bath bomb, and I was like, dude, I love this place. And so then got home and hung out at the house for a bit, went to a friend's house for dinner, and then after that, got back home in time for trick-or-treaters. It was one of those things where it was slow, and then everybody came, and then it kind of tapered off for a bit, and then a handful more came, and then it kind of tapered off again. And so I was able to enjoy a nice, relaxing bath with the bath bomb, and it smelled like vanilla, and it was amazing. And then Mom and we watched an episode of Boston Blues, and that was really, really fun. I enjoyed that episode. There were a lot of fun moments in it. Good morning, Dusty. I hope you're doing well. So today we're just going to be playing some more Color X Malice. Yeah, that's totally valid. Totally valid. I know how much those sports mean to you. Good morning, Joe Boy. I am doing well. Hope you are too. And then, let's see, what else do we have? So then I went to bed. Ended up, it was one of those times where it was weird. Last night, or the other night, I slept perfectly fine, felt rested. Last night, got to bed a bit late, but that's fine. It was only like that much late. Woke up in the middle of the night. again. But it's okay. It's okay. I feel mostly well rested. Mostly well rested. So, got my protein shake with caffeine in it, and it was delicious. Got my morning face routine done, and it was good. It was good. And then later on, I have D&D most likely, unless I'm seeing some notifications in on my Discord tab. I wonder if that is them saying anything about things being canceled. Nope. Today calls for an extra large coffee, says one of my friends. So far it's looking like we're still on. So good. That makes me happy. Because I missed last week because of the festival that I went to. And so I was really am really looking forward to getting to hang out with my D&D friends. And then possibly later today going over to a friend's house for a Halloween party. Because they were going to have it last night, but they ended up not feeling well, so they had to postpone it, and hopefully that's not the case again. I hope that that Souls and my friend is feeling better today. And so that way we can all go and hang out. It would be awesome. It would be awesome. So it'll be I'll wait until ads are done, and we'll just kind of do a little bit of enjoying the music for the next minute while the ads are on. I hope you guys are enjoying the lo-fi, because I love lo-fi. Lo-fi is one of my favorites these days, and to me it just really helps. Between lo-fi and worship music, I'm like, And there are so many amazing, just kind of bring down the adrenaline level, get you kind of in the groove. And it's just one of those things, you know? So I enjoy lo-fi. All right, we are back from ads. Joe, I see that you joined the Discord. Thank you, my friend. So, I'm excited for D&D, as we were saying, and then friend's house. Friend wasn't feeling well. Hopefully she's feeling better today, and they don't have to end up canceling the party as a whole, because I know how much this friend enjoys doing Halloween parties, and just parties in general, you know? You gotta love them. And then, let's see, what else is there? Tomorrow is church and bowling, so that's gonna be fun. Last week was kind of an off week bowling, and I think it was because I did bowling the day before league night, but then all of a sudden it was one of those, it was like I did fairly well, but at the same time my arm was still recovering from bowling the day before. And so it's like, you're not used to bowling multiple days in a row, so you're gonna be a terrible bowler today. And it wasn't terrible. I just wasn't quite up to where I was the week before. And so hopefully that doesn't affect my handicap too much. Because the way that our bowling league works is they give you a handicap, and then it kind of evens the playing field a bit. And so if I like being that kind of middle level bowler, so that way I'm second in line, or I like being third in line. I'm used to being in the middle. And so it's one of those things where I hope I get to stay in the middle based on how I bowled last week. I hope so. But we'll find out tomorrow. And then let's see, what else is there? My coworker is back from vacation on Monday, so that's gonna be fun. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, hard stop at 11, so I have time to grab a bite to eat and then run over for D&D. and then enjoy the rest of our day. What do you guys have planned this weekend? No worries, Joe. No worries. Sometimes I think that exact same thing, and then I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute. How am I not in your server? And or sometimes I'll be like, I totally thought I pressed the follow button on you. Did I not? How did I not? Is Twitch twitching? You know? But yeah, so if you have any prayer requests, we're going to go ahead and dive into prayer time because my goal for today is that we are going to finish Enomoto's route. When we left off yesterday, we left off with them deciding they found out that there are more people with a collar on, that Adonis is going to... Hey, Lady Foz gets the second round of first. Congratulations, Lady Foz. And let's see, so Adonis, the scary group, they've decided that on X Day, anybody with the collar is going to be judged. And so now Ichika is like, wait a minute, that means I'm gonna be judged. And she and Enomoto have made it official, which I am super excited about, because if she ends up not being with Yanagi by the end of my full playthrough, let's see. If she ends up not being with Yanagi, who I still think is best boy, Enomoto is a very, very close second. So that makes me happy. Alrighty, sounds good, Joe Boy. And so she told Sazazuka, she being Ichika, told Sazazuka, who's their tech guru, hey, since this is a thing, why don't we see what we can find out from my collar and see if we can use that to help save other people. You know, don't worry about saving me. We can worry about me later, but let's focus on getting those remaining 3 missing police officers back. And Enomoto and Yanagi are like, no, we're saving you because we don't know if you're going to be able to be saved, because once Adonis figures out that we've hacked their system, they ain't going to be happy. Yeah, we're going to save you. And she's like, I understand that you're worried about me, and that's fantastic, but we're gonna save these officers, and we'll see how this all goes down. And Sazazuka's like, yeah, I've gotten about as far as I can in my research, and yeah, they're not gonna be happy. Amethyst, congratulations on second. How are you, my friend? Not much going on this weekend, thankfully. You do want to watch the VOD that you missed. It is up on YouTube now. I got it exported. Hey, how's it going, Cobra? How's it going, Cobra? Maybe take Evie for a walk. That would be fantastic. Has she gotten used to being in the, has she gotten used to being on the harness? There we go. Oh, yay! Well, you enjoy your stream, and I will have a good stream, too. So, you have a fantastic stream, my friend. So, Cobra, here's the funny thing. I'm actually live per Arizona time at my normal time. Arizona does not do daylight savings. So therefore, I'm still technically live at 8 a.m. Arizona time. Arizona time just technically shifted a bit, because now instead of being Pacific time, let me see. Did we do that? Did we do that yet, or is that tomorrow? I'm pretty sure that's actually tomorrow. maybe? It could be today. Yeah, so I'm technically still Pacific time. But I think tomorrow is when daylight savings ends. When does DST end 2025? Ah, it's tomorrow. So tomorrow is when we do our time change. And so so that's why it might look like I'm on a bit early. Cause I wonder, did the UK do its daylight savings change? Let's see. Let's see. Aha. I think they did. It looks like it because I'm usually about 8 hours behind London, 9 hours behind Paris, and I am currently showing myself as 7 hours behind London and 8 hours behind Paris. Good morning, Craig. How you doing? How you doing? But yeah, all that to say, I'm technically still live at my normal time. Fender, how you doing? She has not made the connection between wearing the harness and being allowed to go outside, so sometimes she'll run out when I have to leave for school. Oh no! Oh no! We can't have that! Evie! Evalicious! What are you doing, Evangeline? Oh good, I'm glad you're doing well, Fender. So what do you guys... Let's see. So what prayer requests do you guys have? There we go. There we go. What prayer requests do you guys have so that I can pray for you guys? Ooh, a new song just released today. Nice! I will see if I can give that a listen later today. Yeah, that's totally fair. That's totally fair, Soul. Cats usually aren't used to being... I would assume aren't usually used to being on a leash, going out on a walk, things like that. They're used to, I get to go creepy and then pounce. Right? Right? Would you agree with that? That they tend to like to be more in stalking mode. They stalk their prey and then rah, I gotcha. You know? I could be wrong. I haven't really spent a whole lot of time around cats. But yeah. So if you guys have any prayer requests, we have two different options. You have one, just putting it in chat, or two, just or using the channel point redemption, please pray for me. That opens up a text box and it puts it both in my chat, which is over here, and also up here in my activity feed, because on my OBS, it is right above my camera. Wasn't gonna be here long, just wanted to pop in and say hi. Well, I am so glad that you did, Fender. Is there anything that I can pray for you about? Stalking mode, meander mode, sit down and flop around in the grass mode. Hey, there we go. They've got all different kinds of modes. I like it. I like it. Let's see. Ooh, I am excited because I have chicken nuggets waiting for me for lunch. And I get to use the air fryer, and I am excited. You got it, Fender. We'll definitely pray that your music reaches people and they can enjoy it. For sure, my friend. So let's go ahead and pray. I'm gonna go ahead and open us up in prayer, and then I'll look up partway through prayer just to make sure that I don't miss anything, and then we will dive into some gameplay for the next couple hours. Dear Lord, thank you so much for today and for who you are and how much you love us. Thank you for each and every person here, whether active in chat or lurking in the background, or those that are coming later. Thank you for those that aren't able to make it today, Lord. I ask that you be with them. I ask that you be with each and every one of us, Lord. I pray for Fender that you help his music to reach people, that they are able to enjoy it, that it speaks to their heart and their soul, Lord. I ask that you be with Soul as she gets chores done today, that she has the energy and motivation to get it all done, because I know for me, those chores are absolutely no fun, and I need that motivation. I also thank you that her test is over, and even though it didn't go quite the way she expected it to, I pray that she is just able to learn from this and realize by looking at that exam that she does know more about this than she thinks that she does, and just needs more practice and a confidence boost. I ask that you be with her dad and his health. I ask that you be with her in the rest of this semester, Lord, that she's able to understand and grasp everything that's being taught. And I pray that for myself as well as I take this Linux course. I ask that you be with her tech team and the worship team at her church, that they are able to lead people to the throne, Lord. I ask that you be with her driving, that she's able to gain confidence in that her anxiety surrounding that gets down to a tolerable level, Lord. That as the time gets closer for her to graduate in the next year-ish, that she's able to quickly find a job, Lord. I ask that you be with Kishu and Spark and Amethyst and Craig and Dusty and Cobra and Fender and Ladyfoes and Adafoes. Be with Tie-Dye Chef Dave, be with Lotu, be with Bearded Beowulf and Wolfler and Pastor Dustin and all the other amazing, amazing Christian streamers here on Twitch. I ask that you just bless each and every one of us, help us to be a light in this dark place. I ask that you be with Soul as she is trying to find a balance, Lord, and figure out how to get everything done that she needs to get done, and be with her depression, Lord. I know that she has been just struggling with intrusive thoughts and depression, Lord, that you just rid her of those thoughts and feed her truth, Lord. I ask that you just bless her and help her to continue to lean on you and be able to combat those thoughts and be able to get any help from, like, any professional help that she might need, Lord. That there are online options, there are in-person options, Lord, if those are needed, that she's able to find a way to make that work, that she's able to balance everything, Lord, and find good time management and just study and find a way to a method that works to make everything click. I ask for health for anybody that's struggling, whether illness or injury. Queen comes to mind, Lord, Queen of Kratos, who injured her toe. And I ask that you just heal her toe, Lord. I ask that you be with anybody who is struggling mentally, that you just help them to lean on you and make yourself more and more real to them, Lord. Help us to have a fun time today and just enjoy this time of fellowship and solving a mystery, Lord. And in your name I pray. Amen. All right. Come on, mouse. I had to reorganize everything and haven't had a chance to set it back yet. So my mouse is not where I'm used to it being. And it's not reacting the way that I want it to. There we go. Now here. There's that. You are so welcome. You are so, so welcome. We will switch over to the game screen here momentarily. Right now it would be a black screen. So I need to, because my Switch went into sleep mode. So once we get it out of sleep mode. There we go. Get that one on. Got my Joy-Cons. There we go. Ooh, I have a friend online on my Switch. There we go. So we also had last stream a conversation between Enomoto and Ogata where Ogata was kind of trying to bait Enomoto into a reaction and got the reaction that he wanted, and now Enomoto is kind of worried about how that's going to affect public perception of him. And thankfully, Ichika and Kazuki were able to have a good conversation, and Kazuki made a good point to Ichika about how anybody who truly knows what to look for and knows Enomoto is not going to see Enomoto in any negative way. They're going to know he must have been goaded into that and must have been, there must be more to the story, And so, thankfully, Ichika was able to remind Enomoto of that. And so now we are back to, we are in chapter 6. We have made our way to talk to Ogata again. Or I guess Ogata is doing another interview. Yeah, he's doing another interview. Yeah, so now we're trying to figure out whether, because we're seeing signs that there's some dissension in the ranks in Adonis. We're kind of seeing signs of that. So we're trying to figure out, is Ogata part of Adonis, or is he being used by Adonis? Because there is a difference. Volume's a little low? Okay. We can fix that. Volume as in game volume, or volume as in my volume? Game. Okay, cool. So I turned up the game volume a little bit. So we'll see if that works.
動画声明で私の主張はアドニスの意思とは関係ないと否定された。アドニス、ゼロとの最初の話では7月の事件を起こして私が捕まることは。
Aha! So I'm leaning more towards he's being used by Adonis.
無罪放免となった後はアドニスの広告塔になることが役目だったはず。私はその役目を忠実にこなしてきた。今になって切り捨てにかかった理由がわからない。
Yeah, because that's what's interesting, is that nobody with a collar has heard from Adonis in a while. And so it's one of those things like Ichika hasn't heard anything. Now Ogata, has said he hasn't heard anything. And so now we're trying to figure out, okay, is Adonis like scrambling? Is there dissension in the ranks? And so they're not quite sure what their next steps are? Like, what's going on?
藤井を殺害した実行犯が捕まったと聞いた時から嫌な予感がしていたんだ。アドニスは利用するだけ利用して私を切り捨てるつもりだったのかもしれない。そもそも X デーを起こすと言っていたが真偽は定かじゃない。アドニスは顔が見えない組織だが私はメディアに姿を晒すことで人々の信頼を得た。
Aha. Interesting.
私の言葉を肯定する者も増えてきている。
Yeah, because that's what's interesting is that there are some people who agree with him because Ogata is spreading this whole propaganda about how Adonis is right to let the people be the one to, to execute judgment on people. And the ones that agree with him tend to be the ones that either have a grudge against the police or have been hurt in the past and feel like they didn't get the justice that they deserved. Whereas the everyday average person is kind of like, wait a minute, I kind of get where you're coming from, but you're taking it too far. Like, I get what you're trying to say, but you're taking it to the next level, and I can't agree with taking it that far.
アドニスではなく私の言葉で国を変えられるのではないか。国民の一人一人に悪を裁くべき権利がある。そう促せば。
Hello, sweetie.
Diana! Welcome! Thank you so much for the follow. How are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well.
そうだ。アドニスの元にいる必要な。
Oh. Alright, sounds good, Diana. It's all good. I'm glad you're following now. Who are you grooming today? Who do you get to groom? What doggos? I am kind of worried for Ogata because I don't think Adonis is going to take kindly to him being like, yeah, I don't need them. I'm gonna go rogue.
私はアドニスを踏み台にしてこの世界を変えてみせる。
They are not gonna like that. They are not gonna like that at all. And knowing Adonis, they are going to have some way to figure out that he's saying all this stuff, that he's thinking all this stuff, and they're gonna be like, no, you're gone. Bye-bye. So now Sasazuka is helping Investigations HQ to find out where all these people that have been targeted by Adonis are.
笹塚くんがここまで来るという時点で信憑性は高いですね。
I was afraid of revealing the existence of my caller, but Minagishi didn't escalate the situation and calmly looked over Sasazuka and me.
こちらとしても願ってもない申し出です。首輪の件は内密にすると約束しましょう。
Thank you.
話が早くて助かります。あと、作業上こいつにもある程度は近くにいてもらう必要があるんで。
See, I would personally think that based on the fact that the collar has poison in it, you would want to be close to a hospital, if not in a hospital. Since we're dealing with some kind of unknown poison here.
ええ、持田さんには首輪のことは伏せて、私から話をしておきます。
Yes, please.
じゃあ、俺は再犯チームから捜査の進捗を聞いてくる。
After he said that, Sasazuka briskly walked away.
あなたの状況からして、今回のことがいかに危険な賭けであるかは理解しています。 本格的にデータの解析が始まれば息が詰まる時間が続くでしょう。
It really is gonna be a
気休
tense
めにしかならないか
situation.
もしれませんが、今のうちにしっかり休息をとっておいてください。
Rest while you can. Rest while you're alive, basically. Yes, thank you for your consideration, sir. I exit Investigations HQ and touch the collar over my clothes. I told Minagishi the circumstances, and I'm not dead yet. This proves the perpetrators aren't watching me. Or that they have... It's either they're not watching, there's some kind of a disconnect between the collars and Adonis now. Like something happened to disconnect that or to sever that connection. Or it could be that there's something more in place and Adonis is just waiting for the right moment, and so they're like, yeah, we're gonna remember this. Or, you know, like, we're gonna remember this, and at a later date, like on X day, we're gonna remember this and be like, boom, this is proof that you are evil. So either they're listening and choosing to delay action, or they are somehow not listening, or there's dissension in the ranks. Given the setting, I've always chosen to believe that they do have emergency services in place. That's fair. My guess would be if they, since they clearly have decided to do this work at HQ, yeah, new headcanon edition, they are also close to a hospital. There we go. Cause, or if they are not close to a hospital, before they get too far into their research, they're gonna be like, hey, Shinjuku Hospital, can we have a few of your nurses and doctors come over to our station and watch Ichika, make sure she doesn't die, please? Thank you. Like, that could also be, because there's clearly a hospital, because that's where Sayaki is. But we just don't know where that hospital is in relation to the police station at the moment. But I don't know when they will resume. I can't let my guard down.
Oh.
Hey, Sakuragawa!
探してたんだよ。
I like Sakuragawa. She's cool. Me? Did something happen?
いや、それが今日向井さんとお昼一緒する予定だったんだけどさ、さっき機嫌を覗いたら荒ぶってるのなんのって。
Uh-oh. Going berserk.
私一人じゃ手に負えそうもないから、あんたも援護してよ。
Huh? Help? I don't know what I can say to help.
大丈夫。あんたはいてくれるだけでいいから。
Well, if that's all you need me to do, I understand.
よし。じゃあ今から5分後に機嫌に集合ってことでよろしく。
You're sure they wouldn't attempt this without accounting for the poison and the medical concerns that could quickly become a problem? That is very true. They probably know exactly how far away they are from the hospital, how many nurses and doctors they would need, that kind of a thing. She patted me on the shoulder and quickly darted off. Lunch with Sakuragawa. I've never really talked with Mukai before, so I'm a little nervous. Well, it'll be a good distraction to keep my mind off the collar. Exactly. I mentally switched gears and headed to my desk to get my bento box. Lunch in hand, I visited field operations. Mukai was squinting angrily and was obviously not in a good mood. Is something wrong?
星野
Right when I was about to speak to Mukai, Sakuragawa attempted to stop me. Wait, what? But Mukai seized upon the opportunity.
あったなんてものじゃありませんのよ星野さん
Mukai's fuse was lit and she furiously pointed at the desk across from her.
白石主任は腐ってでも主任ですのに無断欠勤しているのです
Oh. What they would need to stabilize her before getting her to said hospital. Yeah, surely they have a contingency plan in place. Yeah. And especially knowing, like, Sasuzuka would probably be more focused on, yeah, we need to, we need to get the, cyber stuff in place. And then Enomoto and everybody else would be like, yeah, we're gonna make sure that the emergency services are there, and Sasuzuka would be like, oh yeah, that's a thing too, yeah, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna add that in, obviously. He'd probably be like, yeah, that goes without saying. We're gonna need emergency services. I'm just focused on the cyber aspect of it. Honestly, never given too much thought to the specifics, but always assumed that was the case. That's fair. So Shiraishi is gone. Huh?
やっぱ白石さん絡みか
So he's probably over at the detective office. Really?
そもそも主任は自由奔放すぎるのです今までもフラッといなくなることはありましたその度に私が関係各所にフォローをして事なきを得てきたのです
Oh. When I first met her, she was talking about how she had to take care of Shiraishi. I realized now what she meant, but Mukai's pent-up anger didn't stop there.
これが10代の相手でしたら私だってここまでガミガミ言いませんですが主任は29で私より年上で立場も上なのです姿を消すたび連絡だけはするようにとあれほど口を酸っぱくして言いつけておきましたのに
Mukai, please calm down. Never tell an angry person to calm down. That's going to accomplish the opposite of what you want. That look is terrifying. She's really angry.
向井さん、星野が怯えてるよ。ほら、空腹の時って思考鈍るしさ。ひとまずお腹満たさない？話はその後で聞くから。それもそうですわね。
Sakuragawa must be used to this. She calmed down Mukai pretty quickly. I thought Mukai was much more mature than this. I mean, just because you get angry over somebody repeatedly, not, like, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense that she would be upset with Shiraishi, you know? That doesn't necessarily mean that she's not mature. It's okay to let out that pent-up anger. It's what she does with it. You know? Like, she hasn't, like... To me, that shows... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. You love Eriko, you love Shiraishi too, but her personality shines through her hatred of him, and it's so fun to watch. Right? It makes sense. She has to work with him on a daily basis, and she's like... Why? Why? Work with me, Shiraishi. Just tell me. Communicate. You know? You know, like, that's not immature, you know? To me. I feel a shared bond with her because she has to put up with Shiraishi too. Still, where could Shiraishi have run off to? Well, it's not like this is the first time, so I'm sure he'll come back eventually. When I saw people who were going through their own trials, it helped me calm down. Sakuragawa would probably be calmer when she does analysis because she calmed Mukai down. Still, all I can do here is organize the materials and get tea for everyone. Sazazuka and the cybercrimes members were quietly conducting their analysis. As far as I could tell from their conversation, they haven't been stopped yet. If it goes well, they might be able to access Adonis's data within a few days. If they can do that, they might be able to find the missing police officers. That would be good.
Hoshino-san!
Yes? Minagishi jumped into Investigations HQ with a stern look, but he relaxed when he saw me.
その様子だと特に異常はないようですね。
Huh? Abnormalities? What are you talking about?
実は今しがた、尾形の言葉に感化された少女が事件を起こしました。
Wait. Huh? I had a feeling that these things would start happening. But I didn't think it would start happening so quickly. An incident? You mean a murder?
いえ、処置が早かったおかげで被害者は一命を取り留めました。加害者の少女は被害者に恋人を奪われたことを動機として、尾形の言うように自らの手で悪に裁きを下しただけだと主張しているそうです。現場にコインは残されていませんでしたが、後々見つかる場合もあります。現時点でアドニスが関与しているかは断定できません。
Yeah, and that's what makes this hard, is because if they are going and allowing people to exercise their own form of judgment, then that makes it even more difficult on the police to do their job of trying to get Adonis and stop them. Because then it's like, okay, well, is this... But then again, Adonis also has the, their, what's it called? Like the coin and the number and all that. So with them being quiet now, maybe that makes it easier to tell whether... But yeah, it's one of those, it makes it harder to tell, like he's saying, whether Adonis is involved or not right away, because if somebody's exercising their quote-unquote right to judgment, end quote, or quote-unquote right to judge evil, end quote, then how do we know if they are doing that because they feel they have that right, and how do we know if they're doing that because Adonis has influenced, Like, how do we know if it's a substitute, substitute murder thing, like the theory from earlier, The announcement from the last time made it seem that Adonis's message is unrelated to Ogata. By the looks of the December incident, it seems that Adonis isn't a unified organization anymore.
15日の爆破未遂の件といい、あちらの動きが予測できない状況が続いています。今回の件がアドニスによるものか、あるいは無関係なのか。それによって捜査方針も変わります。あなたの首輪の解析についても、今日のところは一時中断としましょう。
Huh? But then...
星野さん、あなたは我々に命がけの申し出をしてくれました。警察官であれば誰であれ命を懸ける覚悟を持っていなければなりませんが、実際に行動に移せる者はなかなかいない。何よりあなたは警察を信じてくれた。犠牲にするわけにはいきません。
Minagishi?
解析を再開するのは加害者とアドニスが無関係だと判明してからです。
That is a good point. They do seem to be more organized. And so that is kind of what leads us to think that maybe there is a dissension in the ranks. Like they're not all on the same page anymore at Adonis like they used to be. I'm sorry. Thank you.
そんなに恐縮しないでください。一時中断するだけで、早ければまた明日から解析を再開することになります。その枷が外れるまで気が気ではないでしょうが、我々も全力を尽くすと誓います。事件に関して進展があれば連絡しますので、今日はもう上がってください。
I understand. I'll excuse myself now. I expressed my gratitude to Minigishi and turned to leave. I gathered my belongings and left the office when my cell phone rang. Who could it be? Enomoto? I took out my cell phone and saw that it was a call from Mineo. I was right! Just because someone was influenced by Adonis does not necessarily mean that the person's crimes were orchestrated by Adonis themselves. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, is that with these crimes that could either be influenced by Adonis or part of Adonis's like whether they're being used by Adonis or influenced, you know what I mean? Like there's a huge difference. Because, and it makes it harder to tell when there's really no clear distinction between how do we know, like between whether they're influenced by Ogata's words and Adonis's words, or whether they are actually being used by Adonis. And so to me, that is either a sign of dissension in the ranks at Adonis, because especially now that Ogata is starting to go rogue and is like, hey, Adonis is quiet, that means I can do whatever the heck I want and say whatever the heck I want. Now it's going to make it even harder. Could it be that he made progress in his search? Yes, this is Hoshino. Oh, he is so sweet. You were worried about me? So that's what he thinks right now. That kind of makes me happy. It makes me happy too, Ichika.
なんかこういうの改めて言うのは恥ずいけどさ、俺はそれだけお前のことを愛して。
Oh, Mineo.
うわ！なんでこんなとこいんだよ。
They want to make sure that today's incident isn't tied to Adonis, so they stopped the analysis.
そうなのか。まさか会えるとは思わなかったから。ビビった。
Me too, but now that I see your face, I feel much better. How's the search going?
柳先輩と手分けして愛工場や倉庫なんかを探してっけど、まだ見つかってね。
I see. Investigation HQ also had people on it. But if the search continued without results, people would start to get restless.
あ、でもさ、今日の捜索場所は前に尾形が住んでたとこの近くだよ。あいつのことも聞き込みしてきたんだ。
Did you find out something? Mineo was quiet for a while, but then he spoke with a perplexed look on his face.
昔の尾形は想像以上に正義感が強い人間だったみてえだな。優等生どころか根っからの善人だよ。
What? That much?
だってさ、聞く人みんな尾形に助けられたとか、あんなにできた人は他にいないとか言うんだぜ。
That Ogata. I guess we wouldn't know until we asked.
ああ、元から正義感が強かった分、五輪逮捕の時の苦痛は計り知れねえだろうな。多分俺たちが想像してるよりずっと深い。
Which would have made him a very easy target for a group like Adonis. Because if Adonis is like, hey, we're going to, like if Adonis sees somebody with that level of wanting justice, that level of hurt at what is injustice, they could easily influence him with, hey, we're going to get justice for you, and you can be part of it. And he'd be like, heck yeah. And as a reaction to it, he's doing this now. It's not just Adonis anymore. We have to stop Ogata too. Not a day goes by where I don't see Ogata on TV. He instigated today's attempted murder. There could be more to follow. Kishu! I'm so glad you get to use your Esther mug! What is the drink of choice today? And how is your Saturday going? We are doing some theorizing, and we are doing some deductive reasoning with Donna. Ooh, just coffee. What kind of coffee? Is it Bold 3 coffee? I need to get some more Bold 3 coffee. Chocolate chip cookies and a cheesecake. Girl, you are speaking my language. Folger's French roast. Ooh, French roast is so good. So good. And to prevent that, we have to get the public thinking about something else. Oh, that means I get to hop in the TARDIS and go to Kishu's for cheesecake. I love me some cheesecake. Yay! I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I will see what I can do about bringing some strawberry jam or maybe some raspberry or blueberry jam. Whichever kind of those three you would prefer. Ooh, for your brother's birthday party. I love it. Oh, he is going to love that. He's going to love that so much. I hope it turns out absolutely delicious and everything that you want it to look like. No jam, we just need frozen berries and powdered sugar to make our own fruit additives. Hey, there we go, even better! Even better! You have faith that it will be good. Yes! Yes, it will! It will indeed. So the party's today? That'll be so much fun! But with Ogata's personality, he'll probably take advantage of it. Well, definitely tell him I said happiest of birthdays, and I will have to make a video. Oh, okay. Heading over to help Kim finish cooking in a little bit. Nice! Just need to chill the cheesecake once it's done. Heck yeah! I will make a video and send it to you of me wishing him a happy birthday so you can show it to him. Definitely. Just send it straight to him? Okay. Sounds like a plan. I think so. I'm like 99.9% certain. By the way, how's it going, Dreamer? By the way, take a look at what the latest The latest event is on Finch. Speaking of coffee. Oh, gotta go that way. Latte Lounge. There we go. There we go. Latte Lounge. Ooh, you're only 9.2 pounds away from your goal weight? That's amazing! I am so proud of you. You haven't done Finch in like a week. Aw, oh, not the goal weight. Not the goal weight. Oh, first weight loss goal. There we go. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. As of yesterday, on-the-job training is officially done for Dreamer. Yes! Oh man, that is so good. Are you excited, Dreamer? And Kishu, I am so proud of you. I am so stinking proud of you. Now that the weather's getting cooler, I need to make time to go on walks around the park because definitely need that. Definitely need that. Right? That's an indefinite incentive to jump in. Let's see. Here we go. Claim our first award of 200 gems. Been bad about workouts, but have still been doing. Oh, no worries. Still been doing the intermittent fasting, and that helps. Yes. You're proud of yourself and honestly a little sad? What's going on? Is it one of those things where it's going to be a little bit of a transition from having somebody there working alongside you, making sure you're doing it right, and now doing it on your own? You think what he's saying on TV isn't really what he wants, Mineo?
今はだいぶ歪んじまったけど、正義に固執してるのは間違いないからな。あのまま放っておくわけにはいかねえよ。
So, Crochet Saturdays, I have had such a busy few weeks that my work in progress has not had any time. I have not had any time at all to get there with to where I can do Crochet Saturdays yet, because I want to get back to the collar and where the collar can be joined, but I can't get the slip stitches out, and I need to rewatch the video that you were following and get to there. So maybe once I get that done, I'm hoping within the next little bit, like the next couple of weeks, to be able to get that done, because I'm extending Spooktober into next week to make up for missing last week. So the lawyer was a good boss to work for, and she always helped with pointers for my work. Ah, gotcha. Now you're a NEET again? Mineo seems to have made up his mind and is getting pretty lively. In the same way that you understood what I'm trying to do. I want to support you in whatever you want to do. I told him that, and Mineo gave me a smile. He wanted to say something, but stopped himself. I internally wondered what's wrong and followed his eyes. Hydration! There you go, lady foes. Thank you for the hydrate. I saw some police officers talking to each other while looking at us.
ここで話してると、お前まで悪く言われかねないな。
I don't care about that. Normally, I'd want to stay out of sight until there was less of a crowd. Ad starting in a minute, so we will go to BRB here in just a minute. But right now, Mineo, you're working to help Ogata and the 3 kidnapped cops. I'm proud to have you as my boyfriend. I want to shout it out to the world and brag about it.
お前不意打ちでそういうこと言うな。くそ、なんでそんな可愛いんだ。
Ooh, almost done with the cardigan you've been working on. That's awesome! I cannot wait to see it. Do you want to do it now? Hug me now, I should say.
公開ハグは特別な日のために取っとく。
Ooh, it's purple! Purple! I love purple. He took my hand and started walking with me, trailing behind him. Mineo's ears are all red. He was so straightforward before we were dating. Yup, he's okay hugging her and, you know, the office with people that he knows, but he's like, hey, if we're out in public, I'm not gonna hug you. At least not yet, until a special occasion. Because apparently that's a thing. Right? But this is also Enomoto. Late explanation, not in education, employment, training. Ah, gotcha. That makes sense. Alright, see you guys in a minute. Alright, you guys, welcome back. Let me switch back over to the game screen. I couldn't help but smile, but since Mineo's walking in front of me, he probably can't tell that I'm smiling. We held hands as Mineo escorted me back to my house. I don't want him to leave. Neither of us let go as time slowed to a standstill. But Mineo was obviously tired from his search. I didn't want to keep him. Mineo?
あ、姉ちゃんと榎本さん。
Huh? I jumped and turned around to see Kazuki sitting there with his guitar.
ああ、俺何も見てねえから。
He spotted us holding hands and tried to walk away. Oh, what a good little bro!
待ってくれ、星の弟。その、いきなりで悪いけどよ。俺たち付き合うことになったんだ。俺のこと、兄さんって呼んでもいいぞ。
I love this! I love this!
あれ？この沈黙、何？
He's like, did I say something wrong?
いや、なんつうか、ライブの時助けてくれた人とは別人だな。え？めちゃ真剣に言ったんだけど、今のなんかまずかった？滑った？まずいっていうか、先走りすぎ。結婚前提とかならわからなくもねえけど。
Like, that's totally fair. That is totally fair. If, like, you literally just started dating. Like we're not even sure, you know, how things are gonna pan out. Like, as much as I would love it if they did get married, like I want her to marry either Enomoto or Yanagi. Either one, I would be fine. But just because you just started dating does not mean that her little brother has to call you big brother, you know, or gets to, and you know, like that seems a little too far down the line, you know.
結婚緊張のあまり挨拶の順序を飛ばしちまった。悪い、間違えた。さっきのは忘れてくれ。
We shouldn't stand out here. Let's continue inside. Right? Nice hangout there. I tried to ease Mineo's depression as we entered my home. Right? It's so much fun to see how high-pitched his voice gets when he's so nervous. Once inside, Mineo stood in front of Kazuki and me and kneeled.
改めまして、この度お姉さんとお付き合いさせていただくことになりました。榎本峰夫です。ふつつか者ですが、末永くよろしくお願いします。
And he's like, He placed his hands on the floor and bowed. Kazuki is dumbfounded. Like, I would be too, right? Like, who wouldn't be? But I love it. Mineo, that's still kind of weird. I whispered some help to Mineo, and he jumped up with a surprised look on his face.
でも前に白石さんが付き合うことになったらこう挨拶するんだよって言ってたぜ。
See, that was your first issue. You listened to Shiraishi's advice. And Bionic Heart demo flashbacks. I don't know that I've heard of Bionic Heart. What's that one about? He was probably teasing you. Oh. He stumbled backward and leaned on the wall. I had no words to help him. Kazuki, he always messes up like this, but Mineo is an earnest person.
ダメだ。狙ってんじゃなくてストか。マジウケる。
Right? There's no probably about it. He's definitely teasing you. And is this the first time that we've seen Kazuki smile? Like, look how cute that smile is! We need to see more Kazuki smiles. He's too serious. Sci-fi adult western visual novel. In the demo, you fight with your fiancée and you can choose to invite her to live with you. Interesting. Sci-fi adult western visual novel. Huh. I like the sci-fi sound of it, and sci-fi and western makes me think of Firefly. Huh? I thought Kazuki would act colder, but he just busted out laughing instead. Because Kazuki, our little Kazuki is growing up. Our little Kazuki is growing up. You only played the demo. That's fair. That's fair. The sight of Mineo with his fist in the air only made Kazuki laugh even harder.
元から悪い人じゃないって思ってたけどさ。今のではっきり分かった。
Oh yeah, Enomoto doesn't have an evil bone in his body.
あんたはわけもなく人を殴ったりしない。やっぱあの動画はやらせだったってことだな。星の弟、お前めっちゃいいやつじゃんか。
Aww.
別に普通だし。つうか、その呼び方どうにかなんない？それもそうだな。じゃ、和樹って呼ぶわ。俺も峰夫でいいぜ。 あ、そうそう。ちょうどよかった。実は前のライブ見て、マジで俺一色さんの歌に惚れ込んじまって。
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He did. I still say we need more of his smile, though, because our little Kazuki is growing up, which means he doesn't need to be the broody teenager anymore. Already got the best viewers on Twitch. Thank you! It's on Steam, so it might not be that bad. That's true, I can always look into the reviews. That would be kind of fun.
CD 持ってたら貸してほしいんだよな。あと、おすすめとかも教えてくれ。
まあ、そこまで言うなら。いいよ。ああ。そういや、今度ライブやるのが決まってさ。
Kazuki takes out a ticket from his bag and hands it to me.
今度やるときは教えるっつったからな。ミネオさんと見に来いよ。
Yes, he laughed. We do need more of that. Exactly. Because I'm like, we don't need Mr. Broody Teenager anymore. Let him grow up and be more in touch with his emotions. It's okay for men to be in touch with their emotions. Thank you. The concert is in 2 days.
ま、付き合い始めたなら余計なお世話だったみたいだけどな。
Well, that's so sweet that he's taking that into consideration. Aww.
なんでもない。ミネオさん、ついてきて。
It seemed like they're getting along. Mineo followed Kazuki. The last time Mineo came over, Kazuki was in a pretty bad mood. I saw this with Hanako Kobayashi. Mineo is good at making connections with people. I'm sure this is how he truly is. Because of the issue with Fuji, he seemed to have buried his true personality a bit. Random suit. No, men have to be withdrawn and not present. Like, to me, that is like, I'm like, I can combat that with the Book of Psalms. I see your deck here of that, and I raise you the Book of Psalms, where David and the other writers in Psalms roller coaster of emotions, and it's okay. I mean, David danced, he cried, he got angry, he ran the whole gambit of emotions. So he's a grumpy hormonal teenager who's also locked in with a terrorist organization. The brooding is understandable. That's fair. I still haven't figured out what Ogata is actually like. We're on opposing sides, so I'm sure Ogata wouldn't reveal himself that easily. Mineo isn't trying to arrest Ogata as a criminal. He's trying to save him. I think that only Mineo knows how to possibly accomplish that. Even being told so many cruel things, Mineo wouldn't stop trying to bridge the gap. And the other aspect to his brooding is also the fact that he felt trapped, you know? He felt like nobody understood him. He felt like nobody would understand he wanted to be a musician. They just would be like, no, you cannot be a musician. You must take over the family business because that's what we do. And he's like, but that's not what I want. And he felt like nobody was listening to him. So that can also lead to brooding. And so now that he knows, hey, my sister supports my musical endeavors, now he's letting his walls down quite a bit, and I like it. I'm here for it. I also want to be able to walk alongside him. I didn't know when I might be killed by Adonis, but I was staying strong thanks to him. I put a lot of work into dinner in order to help Mineo recuperate for tomorrow. Seeing him eat with such a big smile on his face warmed my heart too.
さっきの曲マジでヤバかったな。俺鳥肌立っちまった。
だろう。俺もあの CD の
Little smile, little smile. I am so glad to see Kazuki coming out of his shell. Like, that is character growth done right. They were enjoying a conversation, but I couldn't join in. If I'd known it would be like this, I would have borrowed a CD from Kazuki. Since I couldn't feign knowledge on this topic, all I could do was listen. It's great that these two are getting along so well, though. But I felt a bit sad because I was excluded from the conversation.
まあ、ミネオさん。まだ話足りないしさ。今日はこのまま泊まってけば。
え？
Huh?
なんで驚いてんの？一人暮らしの女の部屋に泊まるわけじゃねえんだから。
They really did, and I love it. I love it. Because, to me, that shows that they truly care about his character. That he, while he is a side character, he still plays a major role in our main character's life. And has a lot of influence on her. And so it's like, they recognize that and they gave him growth rather than, we're just gonna let him be grumpy all the time. They're like, no. Let him see his sister for who she is. Let him grow from that. Let him bring down those walls. And everything's great. He'll grow. And I love it.
いや、でも急に泊まるなんて迷惑じゃないか？
別にいいよな。アキトもよく泊まってるし。
If it's alright with you, Mineo, I don't mind.
布団は友達が使ってるのがあるから。俺、準備してくる。
Kazuki disappeared and the living room suddenly became quiet.
一つ屋根の下とか緊張するな。お、あ、ひょっとして今声に出てたか？
Yes?
ヘタレで悪い。こういうの慣れてねえし。でもさ、不謹慎かもしれねえけど、嬉しいんだ。
Huh?
お前に何かあっても、俺の手が届く場所にいるなら助けてやれる。少しでも安心させてやれるなら嬉しい。今まで俺がお前を守らなきゃって息巻いてたけど、本当は俺の方が守られてばっかりだって気づいたんだ。でもそのおかげで俺はここまで来れた。こうしなきゃとか思い込みってよくねえよな。
I feel nervous now that we're under the same roof. Well, technically, Ichika was the one who invited him in, and then Kazuki was the one who was like, hey, I want to keep talking. You want to stay over? And so then Ichika was like, I mean, if you wanna, you can. And
何が正しいかなんて人によって定義は違うんだから。
So now he's kind of starting to put pieces together of, oh good, this means I can protect you. I can protect you easier.
どうした？
Well, not having strict definitions is a good idea. Adonis and Ogata both want to judge the evil in this world, but they don't need to declare a definition of what they think it means.
そうだよな。
いつらの言ってることは
There's some interesting things the writers decided to do with Kazuki and Sazazuka's route too, so that's one thing you can be looking forward to for that route at least. Yes! Because Sazazuka is next. Yes? No? Maybe? Yes. Because I have that written down in a note.
尾形だって最初からあんなだったわけじゃん。
Yes!
初心に返すことができれば目を覚ますはず。そうだ、食療法って聞くし、俺が言葉で言うより効果的かも。
Mineo?
ああ、悪い。ちょっと今後のこと考えててさ。今思いついたこと試す。
From the way you're talking, it seems like you came up with a good plan.
ああ、首輪の件が落ち着いたら、俺は尾形に真っ向からぶつかるつもりだ。あいつから逃げねえって決めたからな。峰尾さん、風呂はいたけど、先に入る？風呂？いや、そんな一番風呂なんて恐れ多い。あ、でも、後から入る方がいろいろまずいのか？
Oh, Mineo buried his head in his hands. His handsome facade was instantly shattered. Mineo. I knew I shouldn't laugh at him, but I couldn't help it. Mineo sulked a bit, so Kazuki and I both consoled him. It wasn't often a man stayed over, so I was actually a bit nervous myself. It's morning now, and nothing happened. After the bath, he and Kazuki started chatting some more, but Mineo fell asleep soon afterwards. I guess he was exhausted from running around all day. I want to let him sleep, but I want to see his face before I go to work. Aww. But Kazuki is with him, so it feels bad to wake them. I made breakfast hoping they would come and eat, but that didn't happen. No point in worrying about it. I should at least check if they're awake. I head to Kazuki's room while thinking that. Oh! Kazuki!
やっと来た。何そわそわしてんだよ。峰尾さんまだ寝てるから起こしてやれば。
Huh?
俺は邪魔しねえから。なんならしばらく。
Oh, what a loving little brother. Hey, I don't need you to be courteous that way. I protest, but Kazuki ignores me and goes into the living room. I'm just gonna wake him. It's no big deal. I tended to him when he was passed out drunk, too. I mean, that is true. She did. Mineo, can I come in? I asked just as a precaution, but there wasn't any response. Excuse me. I tried not to make a sound and entered Kazuki's room. Mineo was all rolled up in a blanket, sleeping with a smile. It's so hard to wake him up. Yanagi lived with him, so I wondered how he dealt with waking him up. I told myself to remember to ask next time and tried to call out to Mineo. Mineo, it's morning! Please get up. This'll be tough. Mineo, if you wake up now, you'll be able to eat some freshly made breakfast. He reacted. I wanted to make something that would give you energy, so I made a 3-part bowl. I also made lunch, so go ahead and take that if you'd like to eat it. Oh, he's dreaming as if they're married. I love it.
夢みたいな結婚生活幸せすぎる
Mineo, please wake up.
よっ
Mineo jumped up and blinked a few times before looking at me.
なんだエプロン姿のお前に送り出されてたのは夢か
You were talking in your sleep, but what kind of dream were you having?
また俺声に出してた
No, just cute and romantic. I felt like I should tease him a bit. Oh no, I don't know. Because whether I say you did, or whether I do the awkward silence, he's still gonna freak out. Because if I say you did, he's gonna be like, oh no, what did I say? And if I do the awkward silence, then it's gonna be, your silence says everything! Ah! No, not at all. It was cute and romantic. But the most teasing sounding one is the you did. Because it'll be like, yeah, you said some really, really weird things about like being married and stuff. And he's gonna be like, ah. What to do, what to do. Yeah, let's go with you did. Let's tease him a little bit. Yup, you totally did. You talked about getting a goodbye kiss and living a happy married life. Yeah, felt like I should tease him. So, definitely I think I chose wisely. I'm pretty sure I chose wisely. I'm not, Mineo. You also said you were so happy. It was a bit embarrassing, but I'm also happy that you said that. Affection up! Donna chose wisely! Donna wins again! This has much more impact than hearing him talk in his sleep. Yes! Good morning, Mineo. We faced each other and said our greetings. It felt a bit awkward for some reason. Donna successfully picked on her chosen love interest. Yes! It'll be interesting once I get to Yanagi. It'll be interesting to see what happens throughout the rest of the game. You haven't had breakfast yet. It's prepared in the living room, so go ahead. Mineo and I headed to the living room where Kazuki was watching TV. Is there a music program on or something? While wondering that, I nonchalantly looked at the TV.
たかが恋人を取られたくらいで刺すなんてどうかしていると皆さんは思うかもしれません。
Because it is. Because it is. There's communication.
ですが、その恋人が心の支えであったならどうでしょう。
Because again, communication and therapy. Communication and therapy.
人は一人では生きていけない。生きる希望となる支えが必ず必要です。
Communication and therapy. That is our emotional support. And of course, God. Leaning on him for our emotional support as well, but also letting the professionals help us as well.
加害者の少女にとって心の支えを失うことは耐え難く辛いことだった。だとすれば被害者の女性を悪と称してもおかしくないでしょう。
To her, maybe, but then we have the whole cell block tango from Chicago, you know? Like, dude. Therapy. Lots of characters in this story are in desperate need of it. Exactly. Starting with Exhibit A. Cause I'm totally picturing Cell Block Tango and her being the one that goes, he fell into my knife 10 times. And they're like, he had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. If you'd have been there and you'd have seen it, I'll betcha you would have done the same. Like, that's basically between her and Ogata. You've got the Cell Block Tango lyrics covered. You really do. This kind of rationalization is completely unacceptable. Thank you, rational person. Thank you, Hoshino. Ichika. Hearing Ogata defend the attempted murder yesterday boiled my blood. I reached for the remote to shut off the TV, but Mineo stopped me. When I hear him talking like that, it seems Ogata's thinking hasn't changed at all. On top of that, this incident was caused by what he said, too. That is a very good point. That is a very good point. We still don't know how much of this is his actual, 100% thoughts and beliefs, and how much of this is, ooh, if I say this, it riles up the public and gets them on my side, and then I can get them to do whatever I want. Wah! You know? How much of it is that? Mineo makes a very good point. Mineo is wise. Thank you, Enomoto. Mineo was studying the TV so intently that I quietly set the remote on the table.
アドニスによる裁きを待つべきだったのではという意見もあるそうですが、確かに アドニスは一般的に裁かれなかった悪を裁いてくれるかもしれません。ですが、裁きが下されるのをただ待つ日々は苦痛でしかない。私はそう考えます。アドニスと我々の違いは一体何か。そもそも違いなんてないのではないでしょうか。
I don't know about you, but I ain't Adonis.
ならば自分の手で悪に対抗したとしても何ら問題はない。違いますか。
Looking up a verse to combat that line of thinking? Here we go. Oh. Couple of verses here. There we go. There we go. That is what we need right there. That is what we need right there. Leave it to the Lord. Leave it to the Lord. And to trained law enforcement as well.
少し前まではアドニスを肯定してたのに、ここに来て意見を。
But mostly the Lord. I looked over at Mineo and he was staring at Ogata on screen while being deep in thought. Does that mean Ogata is operating under a different ideology than Adonis?
まだこれだけじゃ定かじゃねえけどな。でも、もしそうだとしたら、これまでの推測も変わってくる。
The desire to judge evil is the same as Adonis's, but Adonis has declared that they, as Adonis, would judge criminals. That is a very good point. Because where Ogata is differing from Adonis is he's taking that logic a step further. He's saying like, hey, I know Adonis said that they're going to judge, but they're not acting fast enough, so therefore we need to be, we need to be that judge. We need to do Adonis's job for them. We need to do the police's job for them, is essentially what Ogata is saying. And again, it still remains to be seen, A, how much of that is what he truly believes versus him wanting to instigate the public, and B, how will Adonis react to what Ogata is doing? Because I don't think Adonis is going to take very kindly to Ogata going rogue. Ogata, on the other hand, thinks that people other than Adonis should be judging. If Ogata was a member of Adonis, why would he object to Adonis's ideology? Adonis's announcement when Ogata was on TV also seemed to dismiss Ogata's way of thinking. Ogata didn't have his memory erased like Kobayashi did, so maybe he wasn't actually with Adonis. Or maybe...
何にしても、これ以上尾形に好き勝手させるわけにはいかねえ。
Right? Adonis are illegal freedom fighters. This is very true. They are the extreme vigilantes who are not working alongside any form of law enforcement. You know, like they take that vigilantism to the extreme. And I am not here for it. Did something like what we were talking about yesterday?
ああ、俺は引き続き拉致された3人の捜索と尾形に仕掛ける作戦の準備に取り掛かる。
Alright, but please don't overwork yourself.
わかってる。つうか、お前こそ無理すんなよ。なんかあったらいつでも言え。飛んでくっから。
Yes, thank you. Oh boy. Next scene. I let out a sigh just as the recording finished. As an executor of Adonis, I thought that the mission that had been assigned to me was justice. It wasn't like the invisible law. Instead, the people who protected the weak would judge evil. By doing this, I would be able to help save people who were victimized and helpless. This was the perfect solution. I thought that my life as an individual was as good as over. But this would be a good place to restart. There could be more people that I could save. When I thought about that, my empty heart felt fulfilled. Oh, are we in the mind of the person who stabbed the ex? Am I in the mind of the person who stabbed their ex? Yes, we are. Who knew how many others were like me, suffering under immeasurable pain, forsaken by everyone else? Even so, I alone would be the one that did not give up on them. Even those who lowered themselves to the sins people considered evil, someone may reach them. I would continue to fight. I don't care if I have to lay down my life. Oh, that also makes sense that we're in Ogata's mind because Ogata was doing the recording. Duh. That was a definite Donna big dumb moment for a second. The perpetrator, instigated by Ogata's words, didn't have any connection to Adonis. Sasuzuka and Cybercrimes resumed work analyzing the caller on their computers. As for me... Yup, she almost missed her bus, but she got there. Yup. Donna's going, Bus! Bus! Don't leave without me! Ah, made it. I borrowed a laptop from the station and I was checking a site that had collected all of Ogata's statements. There are some people who stopped supporting Ogata after he spurred that incident. But there's also a significant number of people who feel encouraged by Ogata. To these people, Ogata was a savior who spoke for them. Somewhere deep inside my heart, I knew that I viewed Ogata as someone who had personally hurt Mineo. But for people who don't know anything, Ogata could fit the role of savior. Though there's no proof of that, I didn't feel like Ogata was lying when he was on TV. It's not out of malice. He could really believe that judging evil will save him. Excuse me. Because no one was there to save him. Ogata had nothing, and he paid the price with his life to attract the attention of Japan. But what comes next? The media would not continue to talk about the same thing over and over. The police wouldn't leave Ogata to do as he wished for too long either. Even if it caused a negative public reaction, he could be charged with inciting a riot. There is no one who will save Ogata. Then that means it's not different from when he was suffering alone. I thought his methods were wrong, but sacrificing himself to save others was definitely taking it further than just talk. Ogata has always had a strong sense of justice. Weak conviction wouldn't take him this far. If he was prepared to give everything from the moment he murdered the stalker, that might have been the key difference between him and Kobayashi, who murdered Fuji. Who murdered Fuji for herself. It's Adonis! There's a new announcement video! Ah! I quickly did a search and easily found the video. This...
先日アドニスが選定した犯罪者ではない者が 一般人の手によって裁かれました。
So it's the 3 policemen. They've found them. Adonis still has. Okay, so now we just need to figure out where they are. So they never ended up being able to escape. Well, I guess we never had proof that they did. We just needed to know where Adonis was keeping them.
これに感化され、国が混沌と化すのは我々の本意ではありません。我々は死に値するものか選定を経て裁きを実行します。ここにいる彼らもまた選ばれた者たちなのです。秩序なき殺人では改革はなし得ません。我々の理念が正しく伝わることを願っています。
Uh-oh. The video suddenly cuts off there. This announcement and the prior one now definitely prove Ogata and Adonis are not on the same page. Then what is Ogata trying to achieve? Abducted officers has been added to materials. During sleeping hours, the computer analysis had continued, as fatigue began to settle in.
星野さん、先ほど笹塚君に確認したところ、首輪の解析は 80% ほど進み、最終段階に入ったそうです。
Ooh! 80% done and about to enter the final phases. So there hasn't been any interference yet, right?
ええ、こちらも策を講じていますから。バカがうるさいから、しばらくは席を外しても構わない。
Huh?
と、笹塚君が言ってました。何か大事な用事があるのでは？
Kazuki does have a concert going on today, I think. I don't know if it's right to leave for personal reasons.
これも笹塚君なりの気遣いでしょう。下手に遠慮すると彼の機嫌を損ねそうですし、その用事が終わるまでは外出を許可します。榎本君によろしく伝えてください。
Sasazuka's told him everything. I'm sorry. Once I'm done, I will return immediately. I saluted Minigishi and Sasazuka, who had been glancing over during my conversation, and exited Investigations HQ. I was wondering if it would be okay to call him up suddenly, but I told Mineo about the concert and he immediately said, I'll go. I'm sorry for calling you up so suddenly.
いや、俺も誘おうとは思ってたんだ。タケルにメールしても気が散るバカって帰ってくるし。
I really don't like this either. Adonis is letting them get information about the callers a little too easily for my liking. Something's gonna happen during this last phase that's gonna trigger something, is my guess. And I'm not 100% convinced that this concert is going to go off without a hitch. Oh, really? Sasazuka was considerate enough to give me permission to go outside. Oh.
マジで？あのバカには任せとけって意味が込められてたのか。
I don't think that's the case. Oh, the concert's about to start, so let's go inside.
Oh!
I took out the ticket I got from Kazuki and showed the ticket taker.
はい、ありがとうございます。では、恋人の証としてキスしてください。
Right? To prove you're a couple, please kiss. Right? That escalated quickly. Huh? I'm with you.
なんで？
I am so with them. I am so with them on that reaction.
今日のライブはカップル限定なんですね。
Oh, that makes sense. It's a special couples only event.
マジか。
Oh, of course Kazuki would do that. No, but he did tell me to come here with you.
どうする？ 拝み倒してパスさせてもらうか。
I love that he doesn't want to do anything that'll make her uncomfortable. I love that. But they're just doing their job, so it might be difficult to get them to give us an exception. Guys, the audience, phones, right?
ここで知っちまうのか。俺からすべきだよな。いやいやいや、不意打ちすぎる。
With Mineo starting to act suspiciously, I proceeded to... We're gonna give him a... We're gonna kiss him. Mineo is even more nervous than I am when it comes to these things. I wonder if he'd like it, if I just went ahead with it. It wasn't that I didn't feel embarrassed, but I felt I could do this because it was a way to express my feelings with action. Mineo, can you close your eyes? Right? Stop blubbering and carefully kiss. Affection up. I chose wisely. Just close them. Still confused, Mineo closes his eyes. Alright, I just need to gather my courage. I stood next to Mineo with his eyes closed, and I stood on my toes. And then... Oh, a kiss on the cheek! I kissed Mineo on the cheek. Mineo jumped up out of shock, and I heard him swallow. They didn't say to kiss on the lips. That is true. That is true. They just said to kiss. They didn't say on the lips. This should be okay. It was the first time I'd ever done something like this, and I felt my face I felt like my face is on fire. But even if I didn't have the opportunity, I would definitely express my feelings like this if only Mineo were around. I hope my feelings do reach him. With that wish in mind, I moved away from him. There we go! Feeling relieved that we've been let through, I cautiously looked at Mineo. Huh? Mineo? Mineo had completely frozen up and was standing there motionless. Snap out of it! The concert's about to start! Mineo! With the concert about to begin, I managed to drag Mineo inside. I couldn't tell if it was the crowd cheering or the guitar, but Mineo had returned to normal. They're just about to start the show, so, about earlier.
ああ、お前からしてくれるとは思ってなかったし、動揺したけど、めちゃめちゃ嬉しかった。
Mineo's words were partially drowned out by the cheers when Ichiki appeared.
みんな、今日は俺たちのライブに来てくれてありがとう。ライブの前に
Right? No seats? It's just standing?
俺の話を聞いてほしい。前のライブは予想外のトラブルでみんなにちゃんと歌を届けられなかった。みんなも怖い思いしたよね。それでも今日こうして集まってくれた俺はすごく幸せ者だって思う。あの時俺も和樹も一歩間違ってればここにいなかったかもしれない。でも警察の人が危険も顧みず俺たちを守ってくれた。
Ichiki stops talking and looks around the hall. He sees us next to the entrance and we see him smile.
正直に告白すると俺は
Mineo gasps when he hears those words. But he knows Ishiki was trying to send a message, so he doesn't turn away.
5人逮捕されて夢を潰されてだけどこの前自分の命を投げ打って俺たちを助けてくれたのは警察の人だった。みんなは他人のためにそこまでできる。俺は多分できない。警察にどんな人がいてどんな信念を持って生きてるのか、そんなの考えたこともなかった。ただ一度自分が傷つけられたことで警察なんてみんな同じって。でも間違えない人間なんていない。みんなも身に覚えがあると思う。
Ishiki looked around the hall, now sitting in completely dead silence.
一度の間違いでその人の全てを否定しないでほしい。
Yep, and he's giving all of this in public, telling them my opinion has changed. And I'm here for it. I love it.
誰かの意見に左右されるのもダメ。何が正しいかは自分の目で見極めるべき。相手だって自分と同じ。楽しいことで笑って悲しいことで泣いて、時には間違いを犯す。
I feel tears welling up. If I let my guard down, I just might cry. This is Ishiki cheering on Mineo in his own way. As someone who was wrongfully arrested, his words rang truer than anyone else's. Mineo was biting his lip as he looked on at Ishiki. His actions up to this point were not wasted. New bonds are formed and they'll gently push you to help you move forward. This is only possible because of you, Mineo. I wanted to tell him that, so I held his dangling hand. Mineo held my hand back.
恋人限定ライブなのにしんみりさせちゃったね。
No, you're sharing your heart. That's okay. Go for it.
でもここに集まってくれたみんなには俺の気持ちを直接伝えたかった。今日ここに来たこと後悔させない。
Yeah!
今自分の隣にいる大切な人と最高の思い出を作っていって、俺も花を添えられるように最高の歌で心を届けるから。
Ishiki's concert officially got underway from that point. Tunes with upbeat tempos, ballads, and many other styles of songs were played. Soon, Mineo and I had forgotten everything else and were just purely enjoying the show.
一色さんすごかったな。半端なくパワーもらった気がする。
Yeah, right? I don't feel tired at all anymore. I got to see Kazuki on stage and we got to watch to the very end this time. Typo Tim! Typo Tim! Me too. I thought we could never come to terms with Adonis and Ogata. But everyone is just working towards what they believe in. That's what I think now. Ads in a minute.
尾形の問題を解決するのも俺一人の力じゃ限界がある。だからその時が来たらお前も協力してくれるか。
Yep, Tim the Terrible Typist strikes again. Of course.
今日はたくさん元気もらったし
Tim the Terrible Typist makes me
今
laugh.
から残りの捜索スポットに行ってくっかな。
Huh? Right now? Mineo started stretching up and down and swung his arms up.
お前が頑張ってっから俺も頑張りたいんだよ。それに早く見つけ出してやりてえし。よし、そじゃ行ってくれ。
And with that, Mineo ran off. He's so motivated. When he says it like that, I feel like I have to keep up. Influenced by Mineo, I run back to the police station. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and go into the BRB screen, since ads are getting ready to start soon. And I will see you guys in a minute. Alright, you guys. We are back. Thank you for sitting through those ads. Let me switch back to the game screen. There we go. Bum bum ba. This was probably because I've been working with Sazazuka more often recently. I now notice when he was irritated before anyone else did. Seems like they're in the final stages. Have they run into some kind of problem after coming this far? Wouldn't surprise me. It honestly would not surprise me at all. Sasazuka and the cybercrimes personnel around him are especially tense today. Unable to bear the heavy atmosphere, I stood up to make some tea.
よし、成功だ。
Huh?
やりましたね、笹塚さん。
They did it!
ああ、これでひとまず首輪をつけられた連中の居場所は特定できる。
Is that true? I interrupted the conversation, but Sasazuka just nodded.
大元のシステムに侵入できたからな。最も突破できたのは首輪に関するデータ止まりで、アジトの場所までは割れてない。
いえ、この短期間でここまでの成果を上げられるなんて、さすがとしか言いようがありません。
Minagishi!
お疲れ様です、星野さん。あなたもこの数日は心が休まらなかったでしょう。
Yes, but I knew that if Sasazuka said he would do it, then he would. I just did.
何持ち上げてんだバカ猫。そんなことしてもドーナツ代は安くしねえぞ。
ドーナツ代？
Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, Sasazuka, so you found the location of the 3 kidnapped officers?
そうとは言い切れない。
Huh?
これ見てみろ。赤く点灯してるのが首輪をつけられた奴らだ。
Sasazuka showed me countless blinking dots strewn across the map of Japan. That's a lot of collars.
選定した犯罪者に手当たり次第つけたってところだろう。で、この地図の新宿を拡大すると。
Shinjuku zoomed in on the screen to show one blinking dot inside Shinjuku Police Station. Oh, that's me.
見ての通り、ただ首輪をつけられた状態だとこんな風に表示される。
Did Tim the Terrible Typist strike again? Because I think they meant to say that Sasazuka zoomed in on Shinjuku. Unless I'm remembering wrong. Yeah, they would have... Tim the Terrible Typist! Or maybe Shinjuku was zoomed in on? I don't know. Either way, they're trying to say that Sasazuka zoomed in on Shinjuku to show that Ichika is the only one in Shinjuku.
ただ、外部からのハッキングを受け付けない場所に閉じ込められてると、ここには表示されない。俺が乗っ取れたのは、あくまで首輪に関する部分だけだ。警察の包囲網を逃れる手はずは、向こうも当然整えてるだろう。
Sasazuka looked irritated, but he must be satisfied with the results. At the very least, the people that are showing up here can be rescued.
ああ、解毒と一緒に首輪自体を外すこともできる。
Oh, that's good. Yep, either way, that's definitely the work of Typo Tim. Typo Tim! Typo Tim! That alone is amazing. This is all thanks to you for pushing forward with this, Sasazuka. Thank you very much, Sasazuka.
別に。やらねえとお前らバカがうるせえからやったまでだ。
Sasazuka! No way! I knew that Sasazuka would never forsake people in need. Exactly! Now I understood why Mineo trusted Sasazuka so much.
笹塚君のおかげで煮え湯を飲まされてきた我々もようやく反撃に打って出られそうです。
So, from the sound of things, let's see. So, it said... As you can see, a collar in its regular state would show up like this. So any collar that's active would be on that, is my understanding of that. But if they're located somewhere that the hacking didn't pull up information for, then that dot wouldn't show up. So my guess is that there are currently people all over Japan with collars on that Adonis is going to neutralize with that poison. And so now they know where everybody is, they can go and try and rescue them. Or at least where the majority are. Because like I said, they may have been in a place that the hacking didn't get information on. And so that would make a difference.
でも監禁されてる可能性があるなら部活に首輪の解除はできない。
That is a good point. Vocal Duck, how's it going? Hope you're doing
ア
well.
ドニスを刺激しかねない行為ですからね。そのせいで殺人が起これば元も子もない。
And Adonis want to be martyrs by the sound of it because of mass execution. Oh, I need to get more water. I should have gotten more water during ads. Because I'm all out of water. Exactly. They want to be known as the people that are that like saved Japan is kind of what they want. They want to be the ones known as the people that purged all the evil from Japan, and they're willing to die for it. So, tell you what, I will at least do a stretchy stretch. Because I need a stretchy stretch. But I drank a whole glass of water. So, I will run down in just a little bit to go get more water, so that way I can fulfill that hydrate for you. Oh, you mentioned that you can neutralize the poison. How about just doing that so the collar will be powerless? And this is going right up there with the voting episode of Batman 66. Ooh, I might have not seen that episode. I need to watch that episode.
当然それが無難なやり方だ。けどな、警察っつう組織は何よりも対面を気にする。
特に高枝警視総監はその傾向が強い。面倒な横入りが入る可能性はあります。
あと可能性の問題として、この乗っ取ったデータ自体がパチモンって可能性もゼロ。
That is a good point, because if Adonis let them get all of that information, they've got to have a reason that it was available, you know? Like, there's got to be a reason they were able to access it without anything bad happening. It all feels a bit too easy, you know? And I get where Sazazuka's coming from, where he's like, yeah, they could have easily just planted all this fake information, and the real information is somewhere else, because this all feels a bit too easy, you know? Huh? That means...
今入手した毒の解除コードが全くの偽物で、入力した途端毒が発動する場合もあるってことだ。
Oh. The joy was fleeting. The fear of death was still omnipresent. Seeing me looking glum, Sazazuka turned away, looking mildly uncomfortable.
こればっかりは試してみねえとわからねえ。
首輪をつけられたものの中で最も重罪に当たるもので試すという方法もあるにはありますが。
It's almost Max Shrek's plot to the Penguin in Office from Returns, except it's more down to earth, and Oz plays dirty. I loved the 1960s Batman, like 60s, 70s Batman with Adam West. So good! You're thinking about using that person as a guinea pig?
下手をすれば多くの犠牲者が出る。組織としては対局のために致し方ないと判断することはあります。
But
とはいえ、やるにしても承諾を得るまでの道のりは困難ですが。
no matter what reason there is, criminals must only be judged by the law. Using someone as a test subject will only further erode the force's sense of justice. That is a good point.
バカの考えそうなことは見当がつく。お前自分が実験台になろうとしてるだろ。
There's no other way.
お前に何かあったら俺があのバカに殺される。あいつ手加減しなさそうだしな。
Like you said, it'll be more down to earth, so less drive the mayor mad and more song and dance during election season. Yeah, that makes sense. I can picture that. Sasazuka.
本気か。
After coming this far, if the data is fake, it would all be meaningless.
首輪に内蔵された毒は特殊なものである可能性が高い。もし作動したら解毒はできないかもしれません。
Now see, this is what tells me that they probably didn't account for the poison yet. Because, and having like medical personnel on standby, because only now are they talking about, you know, any concerns that they have. So their first priority was, let's just get all the information that we can without triggering anything. Now they're starting to have to think about, okay, now we have this information that could be false. Now we might want to make sure we have medical personnel. Even if something happens to me, you can still analyze the poison. If you can make an antidote from it, you can neutralize the poison. Isn't that the case?
おっしゃる通りです。ですが、あなたが犠牲になる必要はありません。
I'm not being pessimistic. I'm the only one that can do this. You can test the removal of the poison and the release of the collar on me.
あなたの決意は固いようですね。
Yes, please do it.
わかりました。
And there's our proof. There is our proof right here. We will have to prepare to deal with the poison as a precaution. We would test the removal of the poison and then test unlocking the collar. So that tells me they did not have medical personnel on standby. They would. So they're not necessarily going to start the process now. They're going to wait until they have as much help as possible for her, in case anything does go wrong. Sasazuka starts typing with a tense look on his face.
まずは毒の解除だ。いくぞ。3、2、1。
I instinctively flinch, but I don't feel anything different with my body.
異常はないですか？
I didn't feel anything.
では、首輪の解除に移りましょう。
They punched in the code on the collar, just like Yanagi did when we first met. As they did with the poison, after he set the unlocked target to me, Sasuke nodded. After he saw that, Minigishi started entering the unlock code. I wonder if Mineo will get mad if he found out that I did this. Sazazuka did ask me if I wanted to call him, but I thought that my determination would waver if I heard his voice. Makes sense. If the unlocking is a success, I'll tell Mineo first thing. Because he was so worried about me, I'm sure he'd be happy to hear it. I tried to fill my mind with happy thoughts throughout the entire process. And what went through my mind was Mineo's face with all sorts of emotions. Laughing, angry, bashful. I guess I've fallen harder for Mineo than I realized. I heard the electronic beeps from the caller, and I was brought back to reality. Sazazuka and Minagishi swallowed hard in anticipation. She's free! The collar that held my life hostage popped open and fell to the floor. Am I saved?
ええ、成功です。笹塚くん、星野さん、やりましたね。
最悪の事態は避けられたな。バカ猫、お前から眼帯ばかり伝えてくれ。
Oh, hallelujah! Hallelujah! Oh, yes! I still can't believe it, so I put my hand around my neck. It's really off. Now I don't have to worry about being watched. I don't have to mind what I say. The feeling of freedom slowly washed over me, and I took my cell phone out with shaky hands. I hit the button to call Mineo and waited for him to pick up. Usually that process doesn't have any emotion attached, but it feels like it's taking so long this time, making me impatient. Mineo, the collar came off. Yes, now I won't be holding you back. Mineo? Are you crying? Sweat just came out of my eyes. Mineo always shared my pain and joy so thoroughly. I couldn't describe just how happy that made me feel. Oh, the search. And that's gonna make Ichika decide I'm gonna go and help you. When they were shown during the announcement, they seemed to still be alive. I'm sure everything will be alright. Not long after the call with Mineo ended, we received word that the three abducted officers had been taken into police protection. I switched gears and began to act according to Mineo's plan.
悪を殺すまでには至っていない。まだ足りないのか。私がこうして言葉を届けられる環境にいるうちに成し遂げなければ。
The cameras rolled and the host and I went live.
エブリデイナイトジャパン、今日のゲストは尾形智樹さんです。
よろしくお願いします。
最近尾形さんをテレビで見ない日はありませんよね。各局5人逮捕を経てストーカーから女性を守った尾形さんを特集しているので、我々もと言いたいところなんですが、それじゃああまりにも芸がないということで、今日は趣向を変えまして、尾形さんの過去をもっと遡って視聴者の皆さんと追っていきたいと思います。
I love the read on that. I love the read that the host had on that line. This wasn't what I agreed to for the show. If this wasn't live, I would have protested, but I couldn't risk losing the media exposure.
実はですね、我々は尾形さんが5人逮捕される前に住んでいた場所に赴きインタビューをしてきたんですよ。まずはその映像を見ていただきましょう。
One of the monitors showed a familiar sight.
勝手な真似をしてくれたものだな。
I held back the impulse to turn away and looked at the monitor with bitter feelings. There, I see a boy I recognize.
尾形のおじちゃんはすごく優しい。飼い犬がいなくなって泣いてたら一緒に探してくれたんだよ。
なんだ彼は。こんなものを見せてどうするつもりだ。
一人暮らしで何かと人の手を借りることが多くてね。尾形さんはいつも私を気にかけて困ったことがあったら世話してくれた。あんなできた人はなかなかいないよ。
After the old woman that lived nearby, my subordinate from my old job appeared on the screen.
尾形さん。ああ、ちょっと硬いとこあったけど、上司が相手でも間違ってることにははっきり物申せる人でしたよ。後輩をかばって泥かぶってくれる人なんてあの人の他にいません。
もういい。やめろ。
尾形さん、どうしました？
Yeah, this is all painting him in a good light. Why is he mad?
こんなものを流したところで無意味だ。過去は過去でしかない。今大事なのは私の過去ではなく、今後の日本の在り方についてのはず。
いやいや、みんな尾形さんのことをもっと知りたいと思ってますよ。それに今のインタビューを聞く限り、尾形さんは誰に対しても手を差し伸べる
Yeah, that's why I'm
正
so
義があふれる人だったわけ
surprised
ですよね。
that he's upset because this will help his mission that he has himself on.
体を張ってストーカーから女性を守ったのが特別視されてますが、何も特別なことじゃない。尾形さんにとってはそれが当たり前だったということですよね。
それは昔は損得など関係なく動いていた。私の力が助けになるなと、その一心で。だが今は。
どけ！ああ、
Uh-oh.
君、何をしてるんだ。やめなさい。
うるせえ。俺はな、そこでヘラヘラしてる男に用があんだよ。邪魔するやつは悪だ。悪は全員
And
殺せ。
Ogata is dead. Shaking off the security guard, the man in his 40s revealed a gun in hand.
ずっと機会を伺ってたんだ。お前、番組を盛り上げるためだけによくも俺の家族を利用したな。
The man was looking at the host of the program next to me. Oh.
利用？憶測で物を言うな。私は取材に
Oh,
基づい
he's
た
not
発
mad
言
at
を。
Ogata. He's mad at the host.
黙れ。お前が余計なことを言ったせいで俺の親父は首を吊る羽目になったんだ。死んで詫びろ。 待て。
Before I could even think, I had jumped in front of the man pointing his gun.
なんで止めるんですか。そいつは悪ですよ。悪は裁くべきだって言ったのは尾形さんですよね。
And this is all happening live, so all of Japan is watching as this is going down.
それはそうだが、しかし
間接的とはいえ、そういう事態を招いた責任はあるよな。だったら死んで当然かも。
おい、このまま殺されるのを黙って見てるつもりか。
そうだ、これは生放送なんだ。止めなかったお前らも罪に問われるぞ。
でも視聴率は取れそうですよね。ちょうど尾形さんもゲス
So
トだし。
they're willing to let this host die? Live on TV for ratings? This is why you watch what you say and what you believe, and you don't take matters into your own hands.
特に親しいわけでもかばう義理があるわけでもない。
Ah, this is making me mad. This is making me so mad at everybody.
つか変にかばい立てして怪我とかしたくねえよな。
正気か。こんなこと許されるはずが。
それはあんたが決めることじゃない。俺が決める
Right?
こと
Do
だ。
you want Hunger Games? Because this is how you get Hunger Games. Exactly. Exactly. It almost reminds me, this line right here. This line right here reminds me of one of my favorite shows as a high schooler called The Pretender. Now, granted, I watched it when it was in syndication, but in one of the episodes, we find out that the main character has a brother, and the brother he had some stuff done, like tests ran on him and stuff like that made him mad at the world, and he has some anger issues because of it. And he got the idea implanted in his head, just like this guy. And his line in his very first episode, his main line was, "I decide who lives or dies." And that's exactly what this is. That is exactly what this is. We are making an entire, Ogata is making an entire nation of vigilantes and people who think I decide who lives or dies.
待ってくれ。私もこれが仕事だから仕方なく。
誰もお前の意見なんて聞いてねえんだよ。自業自得だ。諦めろ。
そんな。私は何も悪いことはしていない。
待ってくれ。私はやっていない。
嘘をつくな。お前がやったんだろ。素直に認めろ。
No one sided with me during my wrongful arrest. Everyone doubted my words and assumed I was a criminal. They called me a murderer, looked down on me as evil. They called me worthless.
彼はかつての私だ。このまま見殺しにするのはたやすい。だが、それをしてしまったら、私はあの時の警察官と同じ立場に身を落とすことになる。しかし止めれば、悪を糾弾すべきと言ってきた自分を否定してしまう。
Exactly, so now you're caught, Ogata, between a rock and a hard place. Because how do you justify saying, yeah, you can judge what's evil for yourself, and having to go back and say, this isn't, what this guy did isn't evil to me, because now we've made evil subjective. We've made the definition of evil too vague, because what I might consider wrong, you might not consider wrong. What I might consider to be the right way to, handle a situation might not be the way that you wanted it handled. So therefore you call me evil. And therefore, by Ogata's logic, I deserve death in Ogata's eyes. But now he's realizing, A, the power of his words, and B, crap, I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. Do I save this guy and thereby negate everything I've been saying? Or do I, let this man who looks and basically is in the same position I was in all those years ago die so that my words can still be seen as true? My old self and current self. Which one did I originally want?
私の正義は
悩むってことは、お前の中に本当の正義を望む心が残ってる証拠だ。
榎本峰夫、なぜお前がここにいる？
悪い。これは俺が知り合いに頼んで、お前がいつも。
Oh, that was all Mineo. That was all a setup, just like Ogata set him up. Oh, dude, that was wow. That was an intense setup.
みんな協力してくれてありがとな。
Oh, dude.
俺が肩をつける。
Dude. They nodded at Mineo Enomoto's words, and then everyone left the studio in silence.
私はまんまと騙されたわけか。
インタビューは仕込みじゃなくて事実だぜ。それはお前が一番分かってんだろ。騙すような真似したのは悪いと思う。でも多少強引な手を使ってでも俺はお前の本心が知りたかった。
そんな綺麗事を並べたところで私が信用すると思うか？
思わねえよ。俺だってな、お前のことなんて大嫌いだ。でもお前が根っからの悪人じゃねえって知っちまったら放っておけねえよ。どんだけ傷つけられたって構わねえ。俺はお前に正面から向き合う。そう決めたんだ。
バカバカしい。私にとってお前は悪だ。その概念は変わらない。
そもそもその悪だとか正義だとかが話をややこしくさせてんだ。
ややこしくなどない。人を傷つければそれは悪だ。
ねえさませ。完璧な善人なんてこの世にいるわけねえだろ。誰かのために嘘をつくやつだっているし、やむを得ない事情でやりたくないことに手を染めるやつもいる。俺もこだわってたから人のこと言えねえけど、何が正義か悪か明確な定義なんてねえ。みんなが望んでんのはお前だってそうじゃねえのか。
私が望むのは誰も傷つかない世界だ。
And unfortunately, that is not going to happen, dude.
そんなの無理だ。お前この世の中にどんだけの人間がいると思ってんだ。馬が合わないやつやぶん殴りたいやつ、そんなのその辺にうようよいる。でも自分と違うやつがいるから生きるってのは面白いんだ。みんなが揃って同じところを見て同じようなことしか言わなかったら全然面白くねえ。ぶつかって傷ついて自分一人じゃどうしようもないときは誰かの助けを借りて。
それは
私だ。乗り越えるのが困難な悩みに直面している者はどうなる。誰かに打ち明ける勇気がない者は、口に出すことさえ叶わない者は。
そうだな。お前の言う通り、苦しんでる人はたくさんいると思う。
Alrighty, sounds good, Dreamer. You have a wonderful day.
だけどさ、そういうやつに悪を裁くってのには協力できねえけど、愚痴聞いたり、一緒に酒飲んだり、サンドバッグにはなってやれる。
そんな普通のことを今さらできると思うか。私はそんな生半可な覚悟でここに立っていない。
じゃあ聞くけど、お前そんなとこに立ってて楽しいか。お前は迷ってる。もう取り返しがつかないとこまで来た。
Past the point of no return.
大間違いだ。生きてる限り誰にだってやり直せるチャンスはある。
Yeah, Mineo! Yeah! Speak truth! Speak life!
大切な人に恥ずかしくない自分でありたい。俺は自分の弱さと向き合ったことでそう思えた。俺はまだまだ未熟で、お前の挑発にもホイホイ乗っちまうようなバカだけど、お前は逆に考えすぎなんだよ。
Wasn't expecting Jukebox Brain to be triggered for this stream. Oh, you never know what's gonna trigger Jukebox Brain. Because I'm pretty sure it's gotten triggered twice. It just got triggered and then we got Cell Block Tango earlier.
そのきっかけを与えたのは警察だ。2年前、あんなことにさえならなければ。
And that's the end. Well, is that mid-chapter or end of chapter? I guess that'd be mid-chapter? I was watching Ogata and Mineo's exchange from the shadows in the studio set. I know Mineo will be alright. But I still could not shake off all of my worries. If anything happens, I'll protect Mineo. With my gun unholstered, I watched in silence in case something happened.
私がなぜ悪を裁くべきだと言ったかわかるか。話の通じない相手とどれだけ言葉を交わそうと時間の無駄だからだ。榎本峰夫、お前は私の害にしかならない。
Oh, he is livid. Oh, gotcha. It's just to represent a perspective switch. Gotcha. Ogata slipped his hand in his pocket, which prompted Mineo to take a defensive stance. He doesn't have a gun to defend himself. He said there was no need for a weapon to talk with Ogata. He wanted to show that conviction. Mineo was doing this for Ogata.
この手で殺すことは叶わなかったが、お前は私がこの手で殺す。
Ogata aimed straight for Mineo's heart, and Mineo tried to stop him by grabbing his arm.
何も分かっていない。憎しみは人を
Ogata used his free hand to grab a concealed knife. He stabbed the knife deep into Mineo's arm, and Mineo's mouth twisted in pain.
一人殺そうが二人殺そうが同じだ。私の人生を狂わせた警察の人間は
What?
全て殺す。誰にも
Come on,
邪
Mineo.
魔はさせない。
Ogata twisted the knife. Mineo's face contorted in agony. No! Blood was dripping from Mineo's arm. Ogata was not of sound mind. I didn't know what he might do. At this rate, Mineo, he'll die. That's not going to happen. I won't let him kill Mineo. To protect him, I'll... I shot right through Ogata's heart. I had to, or Mineo could have been killed. I couldn't bear that fear. Because you were going to die and he was not of sound mind. Mineo looked at me blankly. I didn't really have an answer to his question for me. Okay, sounds good. Time passes, and X Day was avoided. Due to the police neutralizing the callers, Adonis announced the cancellation of X Day. They went into hiding ever since. The threat of terrorism wasn't completely gone. After a debate that raged for months, the quarantine of Shinjuku was finally lifted. In the investigation afterwards, the video of the exchange between Ogata and Mineo at the murder scene of Yuta Fuji was discovered. Thanks to Ogata's confession, the true motive of the July case was now known, and the case was closed. The discharge of my weapon against Ogata was cleared of any wrongdoing. However, I submitted my resignation and chose to return to my parents' home in Niigata. There was a choice for me not to take his life, but I killed Ogata. In that moment, I strayed from my idea of what being a police officer meant. I destroyed Mineo's conviction of wanting to try and save Ogata. Ever since that day, I couldn't bring myself to save him or to see him. We'll probably never see each other again. I got on the train and sat down in an unoccupied seat. If I take over the family business, Kazuki will have no obstacle to continuing his music career. I have to at least protect Kazuki's dream. That was the only thing I could do now. I cautiously looked toward the sound. I saw him standing there, causing me to jump up. Mineo!
俺に黙って何勝手なことしてんだよ。お前は警察官として自分の正義を貫けて。
I shake my head. No, I can't.
尾形のことはお前に非はない。お前は俺を守ろうとしてくれただけだ。
No,
諦めんな。俺と違ってお前には立派な志があったじゃねえか。そのためにお前がどれだけ頑張ってきたか俺は知ってる。逃げるんじゃねえよ。
I was naive. I couldn't say this because I was afraid of being looked down on. I didn't pull the trigger for justice. That's why I can't stay here.
一緒に正義を貫こうって一人じゃ無理でも二人なら何でもできるって俺はそうずっと思ってきた。
Through the window, his face contorted. I'm sorry.
待ってくれ。さあ、Ichika!
My heart wavered when I heard his voice so full of sadness. Soon, he began to yell something. I couldn't hear his voice anymore. I'm sorry. Mineo, please don't lose sight of it. Don't end up like me. Goodbye. My love that cannot be. The end.
Emotional, damn it!
Yes! Very much emotional damage. So, I don't know what happened last stream, but... that was very, very much... Whew! I ended up with the tragic love end. Oh boy. So we're gonna go ahead and switch over to just chatting. The bad end. Oh no! So does that mean that's the very end and I can't do the other routes? Or does that mean just that I got a bad ending? And so now... and so now the game's over. What does that mean? Just means I got a bad ending? Okay. So I can still do the other routes. That's good. So we finished Enomoto's route. We got the tragic ending. The tragic... oh, it's not the true ending of his route. Oh. So next time we get to go back to one of our saves and try and figure out what we did wrong. We can figure out where we went wrong and get the true ending. That would be amazing. Let's take a look and see who is alive at the moment. I need to mute that tab. Let's see. Who is alive? Yeah, here's hoping. Here's hoping. Let's see here. Come on, mouse. Work with me. There we go. All right, I know exactly who we're rating. My guess is it was somewhere in the deductive reasoning with Donna bits, because most of the other ones I saw you select were correct. Yeah, I'm thinking there were a couple that I didn't see affection up or anything like that. So maybe last stream I kind of went wrong a bit. So we'll see. We'll see what I did wrong. But yeah, mildly surprised that I got that tragic ending too. I thought that was just the way of... I kind of thought that was their way of making it where you're not like committed to anybody, but then they give you a way, you know, throughout the routes to kind of make up for it, you know what I mean? But maybe I must be wrong, because I thought it was just a case of, yeah, we're temporarily breaking up, but there's a chance that we might, you know, like once I have time to process everything, there's a chance that we can still be together. I just need some time, you know? I kind of thought maybe it was that. Let me set up the raid here. There we go. All right. So we are going to go ahead and raid our dear, dear friend, Amethyst. If you are subbed, here is your raid message. I'm going to go ahead and copy it for myself. If you are not subbed, there is your raid message. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I will see you guys next Friday with some more Caller X Malice. You honestly don't know if Yanagi's route can unlock with only the bad endings or not. Oh, okay. We'll have to see what happens. And I can do some research on that over the next week. And you're so welcome. I am enjoying this. This has been so good, so engaging. But I hope you guys have a fantastic week. And always remember, God loves you, and so do I.